Welcome back, campers, to Ghost Storying. Today's story takes place in Savannah, Georgia, in the beautiful Bonaventure Cemetery. Now, I don't even think you have to appreciate cemeteries to find this place absolutely gorgeous. There's so much history, these beautiful trees, and lots of different lanes that you go down with the trees all surrounding. And I'm going to show you that in just a second here. In fact, let me go ahead and insert that for you. Okay, the view may be through my dirty windshield, but look how beautiful this is. You don't even have to appreciate cemeteries to see how beautiful and majestic these trees are. Before we move ahead into the story, let me introduce myself. My name is Amy Shuford. I'm a psychic medium, and I tell the tales here, all the spooky tales of spirits that I've encountered, some of which are at the spooky places, and in general, things that happen to me in my everyday life as a medium, as I'm living my life in the middle. See, as a medium, I stand between you and spirit, in the middle, the medium. Now, a lot of people assume that there are tons of spirits and hauntings at cemeteries and graveyards. I mean, it's in a lot of books, a lot of lore, a lot of movies, so I can see how you would think that. And at night, it can be really creepy in some of these places. All the monuments with, you just see little shadows and light, these beautiful trees. In this area, you see the moss hanging down, you catch a little movement. Yeah, I get it. But I've said over and over to people, because I get asked a lot, quite frankly, that I really don't encounter spirits in graveyards. And this is an exception. I was on the outskirts though, and I'm going to show you a video that I took of the river. And this happened as I was walking from the river back into the cemetery. I'm going to show you that. Hold on here. Okay, so here we are at the river's edge. And this took place as I was stepping back from the water's edge and returning into the cemetery. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and let's meet weekly around the virtual campfire. So I was just hanging out at the cemetery here, and I mean, it happened on the cemetery grounds, but not while I was going through, looking at the monuments, taking pictures of those, communing with the trees. Yeah, I'm a tree hugger for real. But I actually shot a very quick video right after this experience happened. So let me show you past Amy, and then we'll go into a little more detail. As I've told you guys before, usually don't get approached by spirits in a cemetery, but I was standing down at the river's edge, just admiring the beauty, when I was rushed from behind by this gentleman, and basically this girl showed me how she was attacked here. She was taken away from here. What comes to mind is off property, but there's nothing here. So, and she was later murdered. So I like to take you guys back to the place where this happened and show you photos or video if I have it. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing this series. I guess now, moving forward, when I go places and I have experiences, or if I am going somewhere for the first time that is known to be haunted, then I will go ahead and take footage. But this happened again down by the river. And it was where this took place. And at the time, you could kind of see me thinking, and I was like, well, the first thing that came to mind was, what I heard was, he took me off property. And, here I am, I'm in a cemetery, and there's a lot of people going through. There's some artists drawing, there's photographers, there's people who have people, ancestors in the cemetery. And I wanted to explain what had just happened, and really share her emotions, but I think you could tell I was being quiet, and it was very surprising to me as well, because I just really never experienced people at the cemeteries. And I know y'all are going to be like, oh my gosh, how can you be in Savannah? And I get it. But, I may have mentioned here before, I don't know. But when I'm somewhere to do the work, that kind of thing usually doesn't happen, because when I'm doing readings for people, it takes a lot of energy, and my angels and guides protect me. I'm in this bubble. I'm in a protected bubble. Now, the first time, and we'll have to go and talk about Savannah again, but the first time I had people showing up in my room, and I had to tell them, y'all, wait, come back tomorrow. Like, come back with your people. Your people are obviously coming, so come back with them. But this girl, and I didn't see, this is interesting for me, I did not see the time frame. Like, sometimes I see the time frame, sometimes I see things as it was, right? As they were at that time. But I'm down there, I'm at the river. It's so soothing. The water has always been a sanctuary for me. It's just listening to the waves. And yes, I know there weren't waves, but there were little waves you can hear that as it hits the shoreline. And, you hear the birds and the wind, and it's just very peaceful. Spirit communicates also in feelings. And all of a sudden, I felt somebody coming up behind me. It was really, really quick. It was quick. It was brutal. This woman was sexually assaulted and left for dead. She was left for dead. She was taken from where she was. She was taken off property and left for dead. What does that mean? Yes, she was murdered, but immediately after the assault, she did not die. It took her a little while to pass. I was hoping maybe here, as I retell the story, that I might get some more insight, that I might be able to help her, but I do know he wasn't caught. He wasn't caught. So I'm thinking that this is one of those places, well, Savannah is somewhere that always draws me back. And I think I need to come back here and see if she wants to communicate anymore. If there is something I can do for her, and if there's more of her story that she wants to be told. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video tonight, for joining me weekly around the virtual campfire. Maybe you're at home, maybe you're on the road camping around the campfire. Thank you so much for listening to the stories, the lives and experiences of the spirits, the souls, the people who want their stories heard. And if there's any haunted history buffs out there, maybe you're just a history buff and you know about what was here on this land where the Bonaventure Cemetery lies before it was a cemetery, please go ahead and comment so we can validate this woman's experience, her story of being taken off property. Having worked in hotels for over 30 years, that is some term that we always used. So when she was communicating with me, she knew that's how I would understand what she meant, right? So help me validate what was there. What was off property to her? What property is she speaking of? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you next week around the virtual campfire for another episode of Ghost Storying.